Ohio Republican Congressman Max Miller says a driver ran him off the road yesterday morning near Cleveland. In a video on social media, Miller said the man leaned on his horn and threatened to kill him. Miller, who is Jewish, said the driver had a Palestinian flag and called it a, quote, blatant anti-Semitic attack. That driver has since been arrested. House Democrats released a statement condemning that incident, writing in part, quote, the rise in political violence in this country is unacceptable. Let's bring in Miller's Ohio colleague, Democratic Congressman Greg Landsman of Cincinnati. Congressman, thanks for joining us. What's your response to the incident? Have you reached out to Mr. Miller?
No, haven't yet. I will check on him. It's unfortunate, and hopefully he and his family are okay. And this is part of ultimately the end if politicians are willing to ramp down the rhetoric on both sides and appreciate that, this only gets better if we tackle it head on. And part of that's our rhetoric. Part of that is taken on the social media companies. These, platforms are where some of this stuff is spreading, and give Capitol Police the resources they need to, handle this stuff in a way that they don't have the capacity at the moment. But in the end, this is on all of us. I mean, we all have to do better.
Is there something else Congress can do to better protect members like you? You mentioned the money, and the Capitol Police Chief's going to ask for roughly $1 billion next year. Probably will get it, needing to ensure more security out in the field. But what can Congress do to make you safer?
Well, there's a couple things. I mean, I'm not sure if it's $1 billion. I'd rather see the plan first, and then figure out what it's going to cost. But we have seen over the, all over the country, places where, there's, serious issues. And so they work with the FBI, and they create sort of a data center where, information is coming into a single place, where these threats can be assessed very quickly. And the Capitol Police need something similar. And so I'm working with leadership on helping them, find those examples of real success throughout the country. We've had a lot of success here in Cincinnati. But that's a huge piece, which is getting in front of these threats, or getting through them much more quickly. And that requires additional, capacity, but they could borrow that from other agencies. And then Capitol Hill has to be much more secure. And then when we're at home, I think, having the resources to make sure that if there is a threat, then we have the protection we need.
You had revealed a few days ago you were on that target list of that alleged shooter in Minnesota. Somebody from a different state, somebody you've never met. Was it more frightening or just stunning to be on that list?
Confusing. I mean, it didn't make any sense that a lot of us were on that list. I mean, I think this is a unwell person who has been radicalized, probably online, and he had a bunch of names. So why my name was on the list, I don't know. Again, there were lots of members, lots of individuals. He clearly was going to do as much damage and kill as many people as he could, and what he did was horrific. And a lot of people are going to, have to deal with an enormous amount of trauma and loss because of the cruelty of this one individual. And so, I took the precautions that were suggested, and within about 10 or 12 hours after learning that we were on the list, they got him. So that was a relief. But the larger issue of political violence remains.
Let's shift to the Israel-Iran conflict. In a statement today, House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said Congress would need to approve the U.S. joining in. You agree with that?
The United States is already in. I mean, we've been trying to, marginalize Iran and deal with these terror armies that Iran funds, supports almost, entirely by itself. Hezbollah, the Hamas, the Houthis. Iran is the last big bad actor in the region, and this is a moment of opportunity where Israel has eliminated its air defenses. The skies are clear, so to speak, and being able to end the enrichment work that they're doing would make a huge difference in the region's ability to get to a real place of security. So my hope is that the United States does whatever it needs to do. And what we're talking about here is not war. We're not talking about boots on the ground. We're talking about a plane ride. I mean, this is a single strike that could undermine in immeasurable ways their enrichment work, and hopefully put us on a path to peace.
Is there a concern that that plane ride, providing support to an air mission, could put you on a trajectory that gets a little too close to boots on the ground?
No, in fact, I think the opposite is true. I mean, if you continue to degrade their capacity to harm other people, the chances of war go down.
We wanted to also ask about this Homeland Security restriction on some members of Congress that would kind of keep them away, prevent them from visiting certain immigration facilities. What do you make of that?
Right now, the immigration work that the administration is doing is mayhem. It's chaos, and it's not making us any safer. I'm a big border security guy. I believe in comprehensive immigration reform. This is a huge bipartisan effort that should be taking place, that was about to take place. And that's what the country wants. They want structure and something strategic. The idea that he's using the National Guard, Trump, or American military personnel is just to sow additional chaos. We want safety, and we need a president and a Congress working together to do real border security and meaningful immigration reform. And lawmakers have a responsibility, a constitutional responsibility, to provide oversight. Let them in. I mean, I don't. It really is remarkable to me that they're letting in some people, Republicans, and not letting Democrats in. It's not who we are.
From Cincinnati, Democratic Congressman Greg Landsman. Congressman, thank you, and Bengals season's coming, man.
Wish us luck.
We will do that indeed. Thank you very much, Congressman.